Only on 5 tonight, for almost a decade, a countywide police task force worked together to investigate digital crimes, specifically cases involving child exploitation.
In 2014, it reorganized due to budgets and staffing. Detectives went back to their agencies and departments explored new paths for investigating cases on their own.
But the task force did continue. And tonight in an NBC5 News special report, we're taking you inside the FBI to see how it's changed while continuing to combat a growing problem.
And so these might be some of the tools that we could use on a examination of a piece of digital evidence.
Behind every piece of technology is a digital trail.
Nearly everybody has a cell phone.
And for investigators like FBI Special Agent Miles Wiltrout, that trail can lead right to a criminal.
Each digital file that you have on your computer or on your cell phone can be identified by what we call a hash value, which is basically a digital fingerprint for that particular file. It's a bunch of letters and numbers.
Agent Wiltrout is the coordinator for the Southern Oregon High-Tech Crimes Task Force. Though it reorganized in 2014 and moved out of Central Point, the FBI and Homeland Security are continuing their work with Medford Police. The department has one full-time and one part-time detective working with the federal agencies on hundreds of cases.
A lot of it's child pornography that's being shared, produced, transmitted.
Child sexual exploitation cases are the bulk of what we do, but we also support homicide investigations, assault investigations, drug investigations.
They're busy constantly.
In 2015, the task force completed nearly 150 cases and examined more than 300 items. Last year, detectives closed 125 cases and examined 327 items. Of those cases, more than 50% involved child exploitation.
These are crime scene photos of sexual assaults of children. And we're not just talking teenagers, older kids. We're talking everyone from teenagers, preteens, prepubescents, toddlers, and infants.
So you're talking about cases like that happening here in Southern Oregon?
This happens nationwide, including in Southern Oregon, yes.
Investigators describe it as dark work and say it isn't going away. Over the years, a majority of Agent Wiltrout's cases were what they call peer-to-peer, or people trading the images online. Now they're seeing an increase in people participating in them.
What we're noticing now, at least what I've noticed, is an increase in the hands-on offenders. So these might be people who are actually sexually abusing a child and filming it or taking pictures of it.
The task force is at an advantage when it comes to investigating these crimes. The local and federal partnership allows for access to more resources than those of individual agencies, but they still provide support to other departments when they need it.
Regardless of your membership on the task force, we have always made that known that we are here to assist.
And that's a welcome invitation for former members like Ashland Police. When their detective left the task force in 2014 due to staffing shortages, they purchased some of their own digital forensic analysis equipment. But for anything they can't handle in-house, they know help is just a phone call away.
We still have a great partnership with the Medford Police and the task force.
Soon, the task force will be moving into the new Medford Police Station, where a space has been dedicated for their work with room for expansion. And while the players and location of the task force are different from what they were a few years ago, the mission is still very much the same.
When you have a video or an image of a child that's being traded around the internet and around the world, every time that happens, that child is being re-victimized. It's our role to identify the people who are committing crimes using technology, prosecute them in the courts, and do our best to end that cycle of victimization.
JCSO and Central Point were also members of the task force prior to the reorganization. They now have some in-house equipment and contract with an outside company for additional expertise. JCSO and Ashland PD hope to rejoin the task force as staffing allows.